Welcome everyone. My name's Carly Gotts and I am the Product and Marketing Manager for Botanica. And today I'm joined by one of our botanical guides, Arno King. Arno is a landscape architect and horticulturalist who's based in beautiful Brisbane. And he works on a varied range of projects from private gardens, parks and streetscapes. And his passion is the innovative use of plants in subtropical climates. And that's what we're going to chat to Arno about today. So welcome, Arno. What's some advice that you could give home gardeners about using tropical or subtropical plants in their gardens?
Yeah, look, I guess the bottom line is I say to people, plant the plants that are going to do really well in your gardens. So we all get sucked into planting, in southeast Queensland, people want to plant plants that they see in Melbourne, and I'm sure vice versa. Well, I know from our trips, the Melbourneites all want to grow tropical plants, and there are a few that will grow in a wide range of climates, but generally it can be hard work or very disappointing. I guess we tend to have in our gardens more what we call epiphytes, plants that grow on trees, and we might be using a lot more orchids and bromeliads and ferns that grow on trees or green walls. We also tend to have a lot more of those big foliage plants and sculptural plants like palms and palm-like plants, and then a lot of herbaceous plants that get really big, like heliconias or ornamental bananas, and have large leaves or large flowers. And probably, we would be using a lot more plants and layering them more in tropical and subtropical gardens. As far as other advice, look, I generally say to people in the tropics and subtropics, focus on slow growing plants, because we don't have generally a down period, things just keep growing. So maintenance is probably in our gardens the big issue. So you can grow a garden quickly, but there will be a lot of work, and it's probably better to focus for your own sanity on the slower growing plants and save in your maintenance bills ultimately. But there is an exception. Often near the front door and prime spots, we might want to put, as you would anywhere, annuals or plants that are very flowery, and we're willing to put in the extra work. In a tropical or subtropical climate, you would spend more time outside entertaining, and you'd generally be kind of under a roof or under a pergola or shady tree. So often the gardens that are right at people's fingertips that they really see are the shaded gardens, and so we probably would be doing more in the shade with foliage and flowering plants that do well in the shade. Definitely there are seasons in the tropics and subtropics, and often people have this idea, you don't have seasons there, and even in Singapore, there is a time of year for everything. And I think that particularly guests traveling, you will see something very different if you go at one time of the year to another, as you would anywhere, but definitely in the tropics and subtropics too. So when you're designing a garden, thinking about that as well.
What are some of your favourite gardens to visit in Queensland?
In North Queensland, I love visiting Taboo, which is Mark Bell's and Fairleigh Kerr's garden, which is just absolutely stunning, quite small, but the use of plants and the plants there, when we take guests there, we can't get them away, which is great. And I also love the Flicker Gardens and the Cairns Botanic Gardens. They're beautifully maintained and just some fabulous collections. Southeast Queensland, probably my favourite is Stringy Bark Cottage, which is a regular garden for Botanica, because it's just got a beautiful environment and backdrop, and once again guests love it. And our local botanic garden, the Mount Couth Botanic Garden.
Excellent. And what are some of your most memorable moments that you've had on a Botanica trip, Arno?
Some of my favourite memories are things like going to the Wyambeel, or the Botanical Ark at Wyambeel north of Cairns. I've met Alan Carl, the owner, and his wife many times and meant to get to that garden, but it's just been so difficult to coordinate. And finally I got there a couple of years ago, and so many unusual plants, and he specialises in tropical fruits. So not only could we see them, but pick them, taste them, but we just had a wonderful afternoon tea, with cakes and various things which were made from the fruit, which was fabulous.
If you would like to find out more about travelling with Arno in 2021, please visit our website, which is www.botanica.travel. But thank you, Arno.
Thank you, Carly.